Let's talk email addresses. Hey, what's up? I'm Marc Scott, and thanks for checking out another voiceover tip. If you never want to miss one of these tips, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get notified every time a new video is posted. And if you want more free advice on the business and marketing side of voiceover, make sure you check out the Everyday VOpreneur podcast at VOpreneur.com or wherever fine podcasts are given away for free. So I want to talk to you today about email, and more specifically about your email address, because this is a question that I do see from time to time, and it most recently came up during one of my Free Advice Friday broadcasts in the VOpreneur Facebook group. The question was, do I need to have a personalized email address at my domain, or can I use a contact at? So instead of me using marc@marcscottvoiceover.com as an example, the question was, can I use contact@marcscottvoiceover.com? It's a really interesting question, and I understand why the person was thinking it. Mostly because they want to keep their personal email address, their marc@marcscottvoiceover.com, for personalized emails, and then they wanted to use the contact for more of the marketing type emails. They even talked about maybe using booking at marcscottvoiceover.com for the example. Here's the point I want to make though. Nothing makes a voice actor sweat and procrastinate more on email marketing than when they can only find a generic address, right? One of the most common questions I get asked in my voiceover marketing courses is, what do I do when all I can find is hello at, info at, contact at, etc., right? Whenever we find those generic addresses, nobody wants to reach out to them. Nobody wants to send a marketing email to them. Why? Because our assumption is that they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to wind up in some general inbox that nobody is ever going to check. So if that's the way we feel when we are doing marketing, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that other people might feel the same way? So if somebody was looking to reach out to you about your voiceover services, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that they would be apprehensive about contacting an info at or contact at or hello at, as opposed to your name at yourdomain.com? So that's all I want to challenge you with. If you don't like those generic addresses, it's probably reasonable to assume that other people don't like those generic email addresses either. And that is why I think when you're setting up an email address for yourself, it should always be your name at yourdomain.com. And since we're talking about it, I also think that registering your domain, it costs what, $5 or $10 to get a domain? And getting a personalized email address set up is going to go so much further than using something at gmail.com or at hotmail.com or at yahoo.com, whatever it may be. I always think that that personalized domain is going to go that much further. I know we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but the reality is that we do. And when we see an email coming from Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, etc., the reality is most people are not going to take it as seriously right out of the gate as if it comes from a domain. So marcscottvo@gmail.com is just not going to make the same kind of impression as marc@marcscottvoiceover.com. So if you've got the ability, and like I said, for $5 or $10, I think you probably do, register that domain and set up your personalized email address.